Hello. Welcome to Putting the Real in Real Estate. We've got some real reality for you today.
And one of them is sometimes real estate gets in the way and we're late today.
There's lots of real estate going on today that caused us a delay.
Yes.
That happens. But we're here and you can watch, and that's the magic of today's technology.
Absolutely.
The other thing that's real about real estate is there are questions that people ask that we either can't answer, won't answer, or don't have an answer for. And sometimes that seems a little frustrating, but we're going to talk a little bit about why that is and where you can get those answers and how to approach those situations.
Correct. So one of the first two we're going to talk about are very prevalent almost across the board. And the first one is how is the neighborhood, or how is the neighborhood? And really what they mean is safety wise, or our opinions on should they live there.
And we have no idea. There are statistics, there's data that you can access. You can call the police, you can look on various websites that will give statistics. We're never going to say that a neighborhood is safe. We have no idea what's going to happen there. Crime happens everywhere. And so you're going to have to determine your level of comfort. You're going to have to determine your level of comfort all over the place. Some people love trees and couldn't live in a place without them. Some people want to see another building out their window. Those are all personal preferences. And the place that a 25-year-old single person wants to live versus somebody at a different stage in life might be completely different. They could be the same, but Danielle and I live in different places. Like, where you have to figure out. And then we can help you with the real estate that's there or not there.
Right. I mean, just like, you're talking about a 25-year-old. I mean, there's 25-year-olds who want to be around all the club scenes, and there's 25-year-olds who, want nothing more than to spend their Friday nights or weekends or spare time, reading or hanging out on a quiet balcony or something like that, or, not necessarily be in a hustle and bustle of the nightlight scene. And
Exactly.
Same with older people. Just because you have kids doesn't mean you have to, go die alone somewhere. Everybody has their own preferences and safety, right, and things that they think are worthwhile. And things that they don't.
Amenities that they want. Absolutely. And also, sometimes people want to know about the neighbors. Well, you know what? Neighbors are not there forever. So
no.
A perfectly great neighbor, in your opinion, today, and they could put their house on the market, and you can get somebody who's completely the opposite tomorrow. So we cannot tell you anything about the outside environment of where you're going to live. You need to do your own research and find something you are comfortable with.
Yes. So our answer to that would be check it out. If you're worried about how loud people are, or the neighborhood might be, or quiet, or whatever, check it out on a weekend afternoon. Check it out on a weekend night during the week. Things like that. Obviously in markets like this, where houses are going like hotcakes. For the last 2 years, you don't have a week to do it, but that's part of your homework when you're deciding
before you even start looking. Yes. So we know where generally you're going to target. So start that as soon as you think you might want to move. Start going for drives.
Absolutely. Check it out. Check out different, where you think that you'd like to live. And then the second one is, and obviously this is not relevant for everybody, but
you're frozen for me. Oops. I don't know if I'm frozen for you or if anybody's frozen for our audience.
My time keeps going, so I'm going to keep talking.
There we go. Now I see you.
Okay. So one of the other things is schools. How are the schools? Again, that's very different for everyone. There's different, like you said, not everybody's going to be somewhere. So, is your 5-year plan, do you have a 15-year plan, 20-year plan? I don't know. The schools can change. When we lived in Atlanta, we were in not a great school district, but my kids were, a year or two, and I wasn't planning on staying there anyway. But there was a huge group of parents who were pushing to make a change in the school district. So by the time, if we would have stayed, and by the time my kids would have went to school, chances are things would have changed a little bit. Things would have been a little bit different.
And what does it mean? That a lot of people like to go to a certain website that rates schools 1 to 10. Yep. That's ridiculous. There are 1,000 data points that determine all of the various factors of a school. There are 1,000 stories of all the kids who go there. Trying to put that on a scale of 1 to 10 is outrageously simplistic.
Yes.
Do not go to that site and determine that you will only take a school that's 7 or above. It's dumb. It's stupid. Don't go to that site at all. Go to Illinois. What is it? Illinois Schools Report Card, right? That's the one. And there you can find out, well, I personally have a kid with special needs. So he has special needs. He has things that he needs for our son, doesn't. I then look at my typical son and what does he excel at, and what's important to him, and what are, for him, it's the sports teams he's much more interested in than anything else. So you need to know what you're looking for and find, again, the schools that fit your personal preferences.
Correct. I mean, even when we were buying our current house, I talked to 3 neighbors when we were having our inspection, and each of them told me something different. One loved the schools. They had 4 kids actively in the schools. They loved it. Literally, one of their friends 2 doors down was telling me, ugh, we hate the schools. And to be honest, it's what everybody, now in the end, it doesn't matter to me right now, but
because Danielle homeschools.
Because they're homeschooled with me, but but it's just, I mean, even friends, people who have the same, ideas about lots of other things. I mean, it really comes down to, own personal preference. So calling the schools and calling and knowing the needs and what you're searching for. I mean, there's a really great district real close to me that some people absolutely love and others want nothing to do with because they've changed the entire way they do their grading and things like that. And it
frozen again.
All right.
I don't know if this is on my end because I'm on my phone, or if Danielle is actually in real life freezing.
Well, I am. Well, no, it's actually a nice day out, but I keep seeing the live numbers go, so I'm going to assume that they're seeing me as well.
Okay.
So it's it just, everybody has their own way of feeling what's important. So again, calling the schools, getting an idea of what type of programs and where they can help your particular situation is the best way.
And then when you come to us, have a good idea of where you want to be based on all of these factors.
Yes.
And then we can help you look there.
Neighborhoods. Mm-hmm, absolutely. So another question we get is, what type of inspections should we have?
So we're going to say, there's one answer that we're going to say all the time. There's 2 answers that we're going to say most of the time. And the third is the ever popular, it depends. So the first one is a general inspection. And we absolutely insist that you get a general inspection. It would be with a licensed inspector.
Yes.
If you're
not Cousin Johnny. Yeah.
If Cousin Johnny says that something needs to be replaced, guess what? The seller's not doing it. They don't care what he says.
Right.
So it needs to be a licensed inspector who knows what they're doing. And the second thing that we always recommend is radon. It's prevalent in our area. It's easily mitigated and taken care of. So get that tested at the time that you're under contract, and you will know, and either the seller will take care of it or you'll take it on, but you'll know to take care of that. Now, there are a bunch of other inspections that you can do if you choose to. Most of the time, people wait and see if the general inspection indicates that there's an issue. But then you might want to do a sewer inspection. We've had a couple of clients do that. Termite inspection is required with VA loans, and in some areas they're common. And so that might be something that somebody wants to do. What else, Danielle?
Now, air quality is something that I've been asked about this year, and our inspectors had said that that's not really a thing, but if there is actual mold itself, the mold test or some sort of indication of moisture buildup, then they can have a test specifically, but like a general air quality is not really a test that they do. Somebody had asked me about that, and I started looking into our inspectors, and they're like, no, if there's a concern. But again, that's what the general inspector found. They would identify mold-like substance or something. There's a looking like there was a moisture problem, have it tested further. And then trade on business. Lead.
Well and septic get tested if they exist.
Yes, decidedly. And there is a part on the contract that specifies that the seller.
If you're buying a house with a well and septic, that is typically done by the seller. Termite is sometimes done by the seller as well.
Yes, but can be but that's done by the seller if required by VA. But you're more than welcome to have your own and
right
for like $100. And then how much do I need to put down?
I don't know. Ask your lender.
Correct. Lender are your friends. Okay. This whole process, I think there's a really bad rap out there for inspectors and agents and lenders and things like that. And we want the best for our clients. We're not trying to pull one over on anybody. We're not trying to, just take as much money as we can or get you going.
Yeah, nobody's working against you in this process, and everybody on your team is in your corner and trying to get the best outcome for you.
Correct.
So we have a lender who says, treat me like your confessor. And don't keep any secrets out. And it's not like if they, if it's too late, they'll just go ahead. No, they won't. They will cancel your loan while your stuff's on a truck if you lied about something and you no longer qualify. So you want to make sure that you're upfront with everybody and ask the person who's the expert the questions that pertain to their area of expertise. So how much should I put down is definitely a lender is going to guide you in what the requirements are, first of all, and then what your options are. And we're going to tell you as realtors in this climate of seller's market, oftentimes the more you're putting down shows a seller and their agent that you have the strength to move under normal circumstances in a normal market. I don't think they should care what you're putting down, but in this climate where we're trying to get offers accepted, it can matter.
Correct. And additionally, as part of an extension of how much do I need to put down, I think that also is talking about earnest money too. So if you are getting a 3.5% loan for an FHA or a 5% loan for a conventional, or 5% down, or 10% down, or what have you, a portion of that should be already considered as part of the earnest money. So the earnest money is something that you have to come up with right away, but it gets applied to those that overall down payment or what you have to put down to get your mortgage. So Ruth, you might be stuck there, but I personally like to say about 1% or so down. So if you're buying a $200,000 house, 1 to 1.5%, I would say is a good. Oh, I think you're back. Do you agree with that, Ruth? For earnest money?
Yeah, I think, that's really where you want to have a conversation with us. We're going to tell you what we think is appropriate in that specific market at that price point, and with everything else that's going on. So again, earnest money can be a way to strengthen your offer.
Correct.
If you're in a multiple offer situation. It's typically not at risk unless you violate the terms of the contract. So don't do that and you'll be fine. And
the
so
terms of the contract are very strong towards the buyer too.
Yeah.
You really have to just go, I changed my mind like a week before closing.
Right.
Or something, or 3 weeks in, and that's about it. So, and then kind of the last one, it goes a little hand in hand. How much should I offer? So obviously, what?
I don't know.
Yeah, right. Exactly. The answer is I don't know. So obviously we are here to help guide you in all of these, and this is what we're trying to say is that we're going to give you resources. We're going to give you ideas. We're going to give you, but we can't say, yep, you need to, $400,000 it is.
There are a couple of things that we can pretty much, so if it's a house that's just come on the market and it's really nice and you really like it, you're going to offer list price or above in this market. If there are multiple offers already, you're going to offer above list price.
Right.
If it's, in another category, then we can talk about it. But there are no rules of thumb. There's no 10% under or 5% under or anything related to list price other than, does the price make sense for the type, condition of this house? And how far am I willing to go before I lose it?
Mm-hmm. And that's exactly it. We want you to be self-reflective and you say, you know what? This house is worth X to me. It could be list price. It could be because of course, list price is not a science either. We use a lot of data points, but it's just, it's an idea. It's not like going to the grocery store and going, bananas are 44 cents a pound and I need 3 pounds. And now I know what I'm going to pay. It's, we think it's around this. And
it's market price is a moving target.
Correct.
So again, you have to listen to us. Yes, we want to know what it's worth to you, but that also needs to be based in some reality.
No offense, but if you just want to spend $1,000 a month on your mortgage, then your options might be different than if you are actually looking for a house that is going to fit your needs and
understand that your competition is other buyers. So it's not just up to you and the seller most of the time. Is anyone else going to think that its value is list price or above?
Correct.
And in that case, then you're going to have to make your offer better than somebody else's. And that's all that matters. And it also has to be better than what the seller thinks they're going to get. So if you want them to say yes, it has to be in the realm of what they consider reasonable.
Correct.
So hopefully that answers or doesn't answer any of your questions. But those are the ones that we get often. Needed a little explanation.
Yes, absolutely.
So I'm Ruth Sheehan.
And I'm Danielle Tully.
And this has been Putting the Real in Real Estate. See you next week.
And we're also with eXp Realty.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Whoops. So
right. See you soon.
See you next week. Bye.
Bye.